Hey guys, John V here from PhoneArena. You're watching our in-depth video comparison between the Nokia Lumia 900 and the Samsung Galaxy Note LTE. Both are available with AT&T. They're pretty much the cream of the crop with their respective platforms, one being Windows Phone, the other one being Android. They have a lot of cool features, so we're going to find out which one's going to be the right device for you. So let's talk about design first. Now, if it weren't for its oversized appearance, the Galaxy Note would look like any other device out there in Samsung's camp. But just because of its sheer size, it's definitely a conversation starter. Not many people are accustomed to seeing devices of this size, so it really stands out. But it's typical Samsung quality. Nothing really spectacular aside from its overall size. In contrast, though, the Nokia Lumia 900 has a really nice, fresh look, especially here in the US. We haven't typically seen a device like this before. Has a unibody polycarbonate construction, very durable, and has a very clean appearance overall. In terms of just choice of materials, it's a lot more premium than the Galaxy Note LTE. We actually like that both handsets boast sharp-looking displays, but between the two, we definitely prefer the Galaxy Notes just because it's larger and higher resolution. 5.3 inches versus 4.3, WXGA versus WVGA, so that's 1280 by 800 versus 800 by 480. Super AMOLED versus a standard AMOLED panel. So for just details, of course, the Galaxy Note's going to have an advantage. We're not going to be able to see it here in the app panel, but when you go to the web browser, we just notice that the text is sharper looking on the Galaxy Note. And on top of that, it's just larger. You know, it's just something that you really don't see that often on a handset. They both have some nice wide viewing angles, punchy looking colors. You have a little bit, more vibrant tones on the Galaxy Note, and in the end, it just shines magnificently. Between the two, we actually like the physical buttons found on the Galaxy Note just because they're more pronounced as opposed to the flat feel with the Lumia 900. We see that both handsets have micro USB ports for data and charging connectivity, but with the Galaxy Note, if you use an MHL adapter, you gain video out functionality. As for cameras, they both feature 8 megapixel autofocus cameras, also LED flashes, but the Lumia 900 features Carl Zeiss optics and also has an f2.2 lens. And of course, they also have front-facing cameras for video chat and self-portraits. Lastly, it's worth mentioning that with the Galaxy Note, you can remove the battery and also you have a micro SD card slot to expand its internal storage, whereas on the Lumia 900, everything's locked away and there's no expandable memory. Obviously, it's going to come down to platform experience. That's just the biggest differentiator between these two handsets, and ultimately that's what's going to sell it for some people. So with Windows Phone on the Nokia Lumia 900, it's just exactly like another Windows Phone out there. It has a very dynamic look with its live panels here. You also have the Metro UI theme going on throughout all of its applications, so you get that panoramic look with all the applications. And to an extent, there are some personalization elements found with it, such as moving around the live panels, and of course changing up the color themes, but it's not as deep compared to Android 2.3 Gingerbread on the Galaxy Note. And of course it has a lot of personalization on here with its various live wallpapers. You have the widgets, just a host of customization elements, and ultimately that's again what's going to sell for some people. Sure, we could talk about hardware specs and all, but it really doesn't matter just because it's ultimately going to come down to just real-world performance to dictate which is the faster between the two. And obviously, just checking out both devices, it's clear that the Nokia Lumia 900 just has the fluidity, a little bit better responsiveness, with its overall operation. You can tell it's a little bit just a jerkiness with the Galaxy Note, but it's not bad at all. Still fairly quick as an Android device itself. As far as other basic operations, they perform similarly. You can open up applications, they load up very quick, and for things like pinch gestures, pretty much no difference whatsoever in how they move. Mainly because it's a larger display, the Galaxy Note's keyboard layout's a little bit more spacious than the Nokia Lumia 900, but nevertheless, they're both great in terms of just typing up messages, good amount of responsiveness, quick too. With the Windows Phone keyboard, we like the autocorrect feature it has. It's probably one of the best out there, and in the end, both are wonderful. We absolutely adore that both handsets have 4G LTE connectivity, so you get fast data speeds. Now, we're testing it under HSP+, and we didn't find any one handset to be faster than the other. But despite that, we definitely like their great web browsing experience they have to offer. They have some nice kinetic scrolling, some pinch zooming, very fluid with their movements. And on top of that, they work really well. And between the two, we have to give the slight advantage to the Galaxy Note just because of the larger display, a higher resolution, so when we're zoomed out, you can still make out the fine text. And does offer flash support, so you do get that desktop-like experience. Well, there isn't anything too pretty looking with the Galaxy Note's music player. It's quite conventional by today's standards, whereas on the Nokia Lumia 900, we're given the Zune experience. So we do notice that Metro UI theme again going on, which is a little bit more snazzy looking, a lot more appealing. As far as the audio quality, they're relatively close to one another, strong tones, but it seems like the Galaxy Note is just a teeny bit stronger. Up top we have the Nokia Lumia 900, and the bottom the Samsung Galaxy Note LTE. They're playing the same video encoded in DivX 1920 by 1080 resolution. You could tell moving very quickly, no slowdown or lag whatsoever, so it's a great video experience here. But between the two, we still have to give it to the Galaxy Note just because it's a larger display and it just seems a little bit more optimum for watching videos. When it comes to taking photos, the slight advantage goes to the Galaxy Note, even though they both feature the same 8-megapixel camera here. The top being the Nokia Lumia 900, the bottom being the Galaxy Note. Pretty much everything is identical as far as details. Color, well, color, there's a little bit more saturation with the Galaxy Note, but the biggest differentiator here is just in low lighting conditions. The Lumia 900 just exhibits a lot more noise in its results versus the Galaxy Note, and that's pretty much it. At the same time, their video recording qualities are actually the same, except for the fact that it's 720p on the Lumia 900 versus 1080p on the Galaxy Note. But despite that, they both pretty much produce the same results. Good details, punchy looking colors, smooth frame rate at 30 frames per second, and clear audio recording, so both are more than usable. Voices are clear and distinctive on both handsets in terms of making phone calls, but the difference here is just that with the Galaxy Note, its earpiece is a little bit weak with its overall volume output, whereas on the Lumia 900, it's pretty strong. With our usage, we find that the Galaxy Note just gives it a little bit more battery life than the Nokia Lumia 900. Now, we tested them both out under HSPA Plus connectivity. We managed to get roughly close to 2 days on the Galaxy Note versus a day and a half on the Lumia 900. Alright folks, here are the things about these two wonderful handsets. They're both top-notch, and if we just broke it down to terms of just spec sheets, of course the Galaxy Note's going to win in many aspects. Larger display, higher resolution, dual-core processor, so, you know, as far as just the hardware inside, you might be more enticed by the Galaxy Note versus the Lumia 900, but nevertheless, you know, they have their own unique perks. Now, the other thing you want to take note of is just pricing. It's $100 for the Lumia 900 versus $300 actually for the Galaxy Note. So you're paying $200 more to experience the Galaxy Note. But then again, just as we mentioned already, you have those higher specs in those specific categories. And on top of that, you do gain some additional functionality that's not available with the Lumia 900. For example, you have the S Pen, which gives you, another alternative form of inputting stuff with the device. And also you get video out functionality with the use of an MHL adapter. So you don't have that yet with the Lumia 900. But you still can't count out the $100 price point. That is really affordable, really a competitive price point. It's going to be really tough for some people. If you want to save more money, you definitely want to stick with the Lumia 900. It still delivers a great experience with Windows phones, but it doesn't come off quite as awe-inspiring with the list of features found in the Galaxy Note. But either way, you'll be happy just because you'll be riding, if you're in a 4G LTE area, you'll be able to get fast data speeds, and you know that these two handsets are top quality in every aspect. So if you want to learn more about either device, you can check out our website, guys, PhoneArena.com. This is John V. Thanks for watching.